Has anyone here ever been a soldier fighting against the US? What was it like? I'm a sapper in the Australian Army, and I've spent a month living out bush performing enemy party, basically Op 4. We wore different uniforms, usually Vietnam olive drab or desert cams, grew beards and lived like insurgents. So one does pick up the thought patterns of a soldier fighting a coalition army. Half the day was spent just burning time, reading, talking smack and politics, playing cards, eating rations, and then the rest was combat and cereals. So we would march out to a position and hit the soldier troop harbor at night, probing, trying to capture weapons and packs or being challenged and bumping them with a few rounds before withdrawing. The majority of the combat tasks were during the day. However, we'd perform ambushes and conduct prisoner wounded/surrendering serials. One thing that was surprising was how often soldiers, particularly officer cadets, would commit war crimes, clear violations of the laws of armed combat, most of them accidental and a few not. One example was I observed a scout, and then withdrew to the edge of a clearing until I had a visual on the rest of the section. I bumped a few rounds and then waited for them to advance with fire, while my partner moved around their rear. Once they were within 40 meters of my position, then I would display that I had surrendered, rifle raised above my head or hands up, and I would be shouting "Nicht schießen." Almost consistently, I was shot after they ceased fire by one of the section's members. Commonly, one would fire and the rest would open up, and twice I was clearly executed, close distance in verbal contact and then shot with blanks. This is training, but it was surprising. The chaos of a firefight would create friendly or enemy mentality. No gray zone emerged for wounded combatants or surrendering parties. Also factoring in trigger-happy 18-year-olds in a purely training environment may account for this, but still it was interesting. We also did civilian interactions, no weapons and us wearing Hawaiian shirts and jeans. 50% we'd be lit up, and 50% they would challenge and conduct prisoner handling.